All right, hi there everyone. I'm Vivica Fox. I'm the coach of the Vermont Fencing Alliance. This is my cat Osgood, and this is one of his favorite toys. And he uses it to train for his cat jitsu matches with our other cat. And I realized that Osgood has been training indoors at home all of his life. So I thought I would take some cues from him and see what we can learn about fencing training. So I decided I would build myself a cat toy just like Osgood's. So what this is a tennis ball inside of a sock. You could use any kind of a ball. You could even wrap a small stone in the other sock or a bean bag. You want it to have a little bit of weight, and I've hung it from the ceiling inside. I made a fancy clip so I could take it off and put it out of the way. But you can just hang it from a string. So what I'd like to do is give you some exercises you can do with your cat toy to stay in shape while our fencing clubs are closed. All right, so for the first and what I hope will be a series of several of these cat toy exercises, I want to start today with just some basic form and footwork that you can practice with your cat toy. And then later in the series, we might add some more tactical footwork, some more advanced concepts. But we're going to start with just getting a proper extension, right? So what I've done is I've placed the cat toy. When I stand on guard, that's where my hand is. It's about halfway between my hips and shoulders. I should mention I fence foil and epee, and our club is foil and epee. So it might be different if you're a saber fencer, but this is where my hand would go. So when I extend my arm, I want my hand to come up in line with my shoulder. So the first thing I'm going to practice is just picking it out of the air and lifting it up, right? So I can pick it out of the air and lift it up and get a good extension. That's pretty easy. That's from the parry 6 position. I can now try it from various other positions. Like if I'm in the parry 4 position, I can still get it, right? So parry 4, snatch it out of the air, right? I can do it from parry 8, right? So I'm in the 8 position, and from here, I'm still coming straight as possible so that I have the longest reach between my shoulder and out my blade to my opponent. I can do it from parry 7, right? I'm in the 7 position, and I just practice picking it up so that I'm actually lifting it, okay? Once you've done that, we're going to do that same step, but we're going to set it in motion. So instead of just picking it out of the air, I'm going to put it in motion, and I'm going to do it twice. So I'm going to actually punch it, and I'm going to be punching it as I go forward, and then I'm going to be picking it out of the air again. So we'll start in 6, and I'm going to punch and then pick it out of the air again. Right? So I can do sort of a little double 1 time and then 2 times, so I can work a little on my hand speed. If I want, I can add a parry 6, like a counter 6, just go through the motion, right? So I'm just using my fingers and wrist like I would if I were parrying, right? Parry, and I'm not moving my feet so far, but I want to be in a good, solid, planted on guard. I can try the same thing with a parry 4 and pick it out of the air. Right? Pick it up, and I got it there. I can do a set with parry 8. Right? Parry 8, boom. And if you miss it, you miss it. It's going to happen, right? So 8, and I'm picking it up, and I'm just basically picking it up at the moment that it would have met me. And I'll do one more set with parry 7. So parry 7. There you go, right? So I push it away from me, go into the 7 position, and then reach out. And the smaller I keep those parries and the more I keep my hand in front of me, the faster I'm going to be able to do it, right? I can just do it here as opposed to coming all the way back. So you can do as many as you want for each, maybe do 5 with each parry from a stationary position. We're going to stick in a little basic review of hand positions because that's part of good form as well. Right, so I'm on guard, my hand is away from my body, I'm not here, I have my hand out in front of me in the parry 6 position, which means it's lined up with the outside of my leg, and my thumb is slightly cocked behind me. There's some variation between people, whatever's comfortable, but elbow is down. So when I do the parry 6, I'm just making a small circle, right? I would come under my opponent's blade and just back to where I started, right? For parry 4, I'm coming across just the width of my own leg, and my thumb is now pointing up. So I'm coming over, right, and then hitting. So over, hit. For the parry 8, from there, it's just a little drop. I'm kind of drawing a letter C because I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, it would be a backwards letter C. Draw it, grab, gather in their blade, and hit, right? Gather in the blade and hit. So for parry 7, I'm going to just be dropping my tip and coming across to the other side of my leg, right? So this can be small. The more my hand is out in front of me, the less I have to move between those positions. 6, 4, 8, 7, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing with my hand while I'm doing the footwork with my cat toy. All right, so now we're going to progress and add a little bit of motion to this, and we're just going to start with advancing and retreating. So what I'm looking to do is transfer as much power into the initial push as I can, and you'll know, your cat toy will tell you if it swings away from you nice and straight and hard, that you did a good job. So I don't want to just walk up to it and punch it. What I'm going to try to be doing is getting an extension that happens at the same time as I advance, and then I'm going to retreat and pick it up again. So I'm going to go advance, retreat, and I'm picking it up just as it would have met me, just about the point where it would have turned around and go back again, right? So I can do that with each of my parries. So I could do it with a counter 6, right? So advance to hit it and go here. So that my extension is reaching its maximum at the moment that I'm also moving forward. I can do it with a parry 4. Right, parry 4, pick it out of the air. Right, so I'm advancing and pushing it, retreating as it comes back at me, and grabbing it. I can do it with the parry 8. So push it away, parry 8, pick it out of the air. Right, move in, out, pick it up, and do it from parry 7. Right, so here, parry 7, pick it up. And what I can focus on, because the footwork is, there's not a lot yet, it's just staying in a good low on guard, keeping my balance, moving forward and back without swaying or shifting my weight one way or the other, right? So I'm just a little step forward, a little step backward, and I've got it. So advancing and retreating, again, you can make a little set for yourself, maybe 5 from each parried position. All right, so here's the next set in this progression. And if you like to visualize, like I like to always visualize there's an opponent there, not just a cat toy. So what I'm visualizing here is that I'm making an attack. Perhaps my opponent has parried me. I retreat, I parry back, and I'm going to hit them. Actually, they're coming toward me. So I'm going to come back and just hit them with an extension. So this time we're doing lunge and recover. So the basic motion of it is, again, I want to maximize the extension happening just at the moment before my foot hits the floor. So I'm going at my fastest speed, and I'm just reaching my extension at the moment that I hit that, right? I don't want to kind of be like a battering ram, and I don't want to go up to it and punch it. I want to try to get that coordination of hands and feet. So I'm going to lunge, recover, and pick it out of there. So I'm going to start with just being in the 6th position, boom, back, pick it up, right? So I make an attack, my opponent makes a riposte, and I make a counter riposte, and I can start putting the parry in as well. I could go parry 6, boom, right? So like a counter 6, counter 6, pick it up, and then I can work my way through the different other parries. So I could do parry 4, right? So I'm gonna go lunge, cover, parry 4, reach it, right? So I'm going to make the lunge, parry 4, and make the riposte pretty much directly, right? And I can do several with 4. I can do several with parry 8. There's a pattern here, right? So again, lunge, parry, recover. And because this set of drills, it's really about technique rather than anything particularly fancy. So monitor yourself. Don't try to go super fast. See if you can stay in balance the whole time, right? So we get out into a good lunge. We come back, we pick up the blade, or pick up the ball. I'll do it with parry 7, so I'm going to go out, parry 7, and hit. Lunge, 7, hit. Okay, so lunge, recover, and extend, as if you had attacked, recovered with a parry, and riposted against somebody who's coming towards you. All right, so we're ready for the next level in our cat toy drills. So now we're going to work from a bigger distance. We had been working at a close distance with just extensions or small advances and retreats. Then we worked from a middle distance where we were lunging to hit it and recovering back to place. Now we're going to be working from a bigger distance, which is where you are most of the time in most bouts. So in order to hit it from here, I would not be able to. So I'm going to be making an advanced lunge. And my goal is to be extending slowly through the advance and through the lunge so that at the moment that I make contact, I'm at the fastest point in my lunge, where my foot is just about to touch down and my hand is just reaching a full extension. Then I'm going to recover, retreat, and lunge. So it will look like this. I'm going to go advanced lunge, recover, retreat, and then I'm going to pick it out of the air before it can get away from me. Okay? So again, I can imagine I'm making an attack. My opponent is taking over, making an attack back. I'm parrying, and because we're at a bigger distance, I have to actually deliver the riposte. So I'm going to go advanced lunge, recover, retreat, and try to get it before it gets away. And we can do it again with all of our different parries. So it's going to be advanced lunge, recover. As I retreat, I make the parry, right? I'm not doing it on the recovery. I don't want to show my parry early. I want to show it just before I turn around again. So I'm going advanced lunge, recover, retreat, and lunge again. So that's the parry 6, right? Or counter 6. So advanced lunge, recover, retreat, and do it. I can do it with parry 4. I can go advanced lunge, recover, parry on the retreat, pick it out of the air again as it's just about to swing back away from me, right? So I have to time it and not let it get away. I can do it again with the parry 8, advanced lunge, recover, parry, good, okay? And I can do it with the parry 7, right? I'm just working at being able to go straight to the target from whatever hand position I'm in. Advanced lunge, recover, parry, and intercept. Okay, and that is that series. And again, you could do 5 from each hand position if you like, or whatever number you want to set for yourself. We're going to do one more set here. And this one is for the more advanced fencers who want a little bit more challenge and a little bit more dynamic. If it's not where you're at yet in your fencing, you can just leave this one out. But if you want to have a little fun, this is a long attack. So I'll be going forward with 2 steps and then a lunge. Then I'm going to be recovering, crossing over backwards to run away, and then pursuing again. So it's a lot of, I pursue my opponent pursues me, I pursue my opponent. So here's the pattern. I'm going to do it, I like to start these kind of actions with a Ballestra because often your opponent will show their intention to parry early if they think that's the beginning of the attack. So I'm going to Ballestra. That brings me into advanced lunge distance. Advanced lunge. Recover, cross over backwards, advanced lunge, and see if I can catch up to it again. Okay? Ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Ballestra, advanced lunge, cross over backwards, advanced lunge, and get it. Okay? And again, I can do that same thing where I cross over backwards, get set so that I'm stable, make the parry, if I want to go through a parry, and then advanced lunge back. I'm not going to try to parry while I'm in this position. So let's try it with a counter 6 for the heck of it, right? So Ballestra, advance, lunge, counter 6, advanced lunge. And again, I'm interrupting that ball just as it's trying to get back away from me. I have to accelerate and catch it before it gets out of my range. I could do it with any parry, so it could work again where we're just working through the parries. So I could do like Ballestra, advance, lunge, recover, parry 4, advance lunge. Okay. I can do it with the parry 8. So Ballestra, advance, lunge, crossover, parry 8, advance lunge. Bad catch. And by the way, you know, I don't know how much we'll edit this, but I'm missing a bunch of these. You're going to have some where you miss and it comes out funny. That's kind of part of the fun of this. There we go. And with parry 7. All right. So again, you know, pick the number you want to do. Have fun with this. Make up your own cat toy drills. I hope to be back maybe in a few days or next week with more things you can do with your cat toy, with some more tactical kind of footwork that you can do with it. But this is a good way to just practice your footwork and stay in shape. So stay strong out there, all you fencers in exile. Okay, and just so my cat doesn't play with my cat toy because he has his own, when I'm done, I finally found a use for this beautiful claymore.